We've had rumors of another battle. Is it true? Jane Cassinda's army retreating in disarray?
Less retreating than dead and scattered in various pieces across the landscape. I suppose the principle is much the same, though.
And Rosalind, what did you think of her? Worthy to wear the crown or no?
She has a kind and temperate nature, but I saw some iron underneath. I think she'll make a good queen.
And an ally to the oppressed, I should hope.
Kind and temperate is a far cry from her grandfather. Perhaps this exile has been a blessing for her family after all. What about our proposal? Does she favor the Legion?
Rosalind agreed to an alliance. She and Devonsey gave their word.
Well done. But that's not all, is it? The news can't all be good.
My father tried to unseat the old king. The murder was an accident, but Devonsey said...
No more. I don't want to hear. You think I hadn't guessed it was something like that? I still called it a lie. We can't tell this story, not ever.
We won't speak of it then.
Better this way. We forget the past for the sake of the Legion's good name.
Jane Cassinda is the daughter of the old king. She told me herself. You never knew?
I always thought that was just a rumor. This changes things.
If Jane Cassinda is the old king's daughter, then she has a claim to the throne. Probably thinks it's her right.
Better to strike now while she's off balance. Still reeling from her loss at Glitterdelve.
Can we use the causeways to slip past her army?
No. If a causeway ever led to the Spire, it's long since been shut. But your instincts are good. We need an ally who can keep her soldiers occupied, while we go after Jane herself.
We've already sealed an alliance with the Meisters. Perhaps they'll lend us their automaton army.
I'll speak to the council. I think the Meisters will agree.
Hard to predict what the council will do, but you're probably right. We'll wait for your word.
Please do not litter or excrete in alleyways. Please comply with all local laws and customs.
Ah, the envoy from the 10th Legion. Always a pleasure to receive our good friend.
We plan to attack Jane Cassinder, but we can't defeat her alone. The Legion needs your automaton army.
And leave our city undefended? That, seems rather rash, does it not?
Irrelevant. We made a contract with the Legion, Meister Grimmelhaus. The Council is not above the law.
I suppose...
Capital! I can have the automatons ready in short order. Shall I make ready to leave? I should warn you, we may not return to Stonebridge again before this war is over.
I don't see any reason to wait. We'll leave for the Spire as soon as you're able.
The Spire stands atop Mount Jereb. That's a week's march from here, on foot. Our automatons will assault the town of Aegis Bay at the foot of the mountain. They'll engage Jane's forces and provide a distraction, you see. That will give you a chance to climb the trails to the top of the mountain and assault the Spire itself. It will be an honor to fight alongside the Legion, and may fortune smile upon our endeavor.
At long last, the tide turned. No longer was the 10th Legion fighting a defensive war. With the automaton army of Stonebridge behind us, we took the battle to our enemy. Under the command of Martin Guiscard and Meister Wolf, our army poured forth from Stonebridge in a flood of iron and flame. The journey was a long one and difficult. Had you marched with soldiers of flesh and blood, I do not doubt that many would have died, but the automatons were tireless. At last you reached your goal, the Spire. Crowning the sacred mountain of Jereb, it was the heart of Jane Cassinder's strength. No army had ever conquered it. Azunite zealots and Stonebridge automatons clashed at the mountain's foot. Blind faith and cold reason struggled for dominance as the ground churned with oil and blood. Above the clamor of the battle, you ascended a forgotten path up the mountain, seeking the Spire itself.
Fascinating. This garden is ideally laid out to...
Wait. No weapons. We've come to talk, not to fight.
Quickly, Rajani. We shouldn't be here.
Jane doesn't know you're here, does she?
This meeting is far too inconspicuous for Jane Cassinder's taste. No giant war beast for a start.
We only speak for ourselves, not for Our Lady.
Jane is first among our sisters, like her mother before her. We don't want to betray her, but...
Jane has lost her way. She talks of visions and dreams. A great tree, carrion birds. She claims to hear the voices of our lost gods in her mind, and that proves she is mad.
Maybe she is hearing the voices of your gods.
Our gods are dead, tumbled from the heavens and gone. We sought them long, across 1,000 divine realms, and never found a trace.
Not true, sister. Jane's mother claimed to have discovered a remnant, a forgotten seed of the first creation, the handiwork of our gods. But none of us ever saw.
So what do you propose?
You spared my life in Raven's Rill. And when you spoke to Jane in Glitterdelve, you weren't the monster that she said you'd be. I don't want to see my sisters destroyed in Jane's pointless war. Too few of us are left. We ask for your mercy, for our sisters and for Jane herself. In return, we'll grant you whatever aid we can.
You're enemies of the Legion. I didn't come here to strike any bargains.
I don't understand. I thought...
So Jane was right about the Legion. We should never have doubted her. It doesn't matter. You won't get inside. The door to the spire is sealed shut, bound by the lives of our two most fearsome sisters. They lurk in the towers beyond the Bailey Garden. Expect no quarter from them, or from us.
Incoming! Got one! A thump? Thaumaturgic analysis of that statue's resonance would make for a... fascinating paper. We should investigate more closely. Reason, try and forget.
All is fire and blood and the screams of dying men. The stench of burst guts, sweltering heat of battle lust, taste of copper and fear. Armies wheel and clash, steel turns to flame in the morning sun, forever and unchanging. War without end. War without end. What is this? The foeman seeks to steal a march. To arms! To arms! May the line hold strong! Salt the field with war. Blacken the sky. And let the streams rise with prayers to heaven!
Over here!
Please help me. You're not one of Cassinda's mercenary dogs. Please, for the love of mercy, let me out of here!
Where might I find the keys to these cells?
The jailer carries them. He lingers at the north end of the cell block, though he passes through here to torment us often enough.
I'll return when I have the keys then.
Fires in I's blood. Where did you lot come from? No matter. Put you in your place soon enough.
I do not often enjoy violence, but I shall take not inconsiderable pleasure in ending your barbarous oppressions of the common people.
My sincerest thanks, madam, for my liberation
You have our
from that
deepest thanks
din
for
of
freeing
iniquity.
us from that dreadful captivity.
I do hope you made that jailer suffer before he expired.
I'd heard that all of you were dead.
Thank you. I thought I'd rot in there for sure. I shall certainly bear this in mind when considering any future donations to the Azonite Church.
Have you got the keys yet?
Of course. Just let me get this door unlocked.
Azonite, bless your soul, friend! You're a true hero, you are, and I'll be sure as to tell anyone I meet.
You've made an intelligent decision. Incarceration is a barbarous and wholly ineffectual means of correcting behavior. Trepanation now, that's the key. Triumphs again.
Wait. Stay your hand, Legionnaire. I mean no harm.
If this is some kind of trick, you'll regret it.
No trick, I assure you. I see the way the wind is blowing. I'm bound for the Aranoi, and wherever the road takes me. Still, I could use a bit of coin for the journey. And I've acquired quality gear from the armory.
You mean you've stolen from your employers, and you plan to desert?
Well, yes. Assuming that's not a problem for you, I'm happy to show you what I have.
Incoming! Reason triumphs again.
Injustice. Injustice gives way to trespass. Trespass demands redress. Redress comes only through blood. If the son strikes the father, let his hand be hewn off. If the serf wounds the noble, let him suffer the lash. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. If a man should trespass, let his feet be seared with hot coals, and let him be whipped from the city!
It's beautiful. Such a pity it was built to glorify tyrants and murderers.
And here is the Legion, their hands washed with innocent blood. 30 years, and nothing has changed.
A woman who calls herself a saint might have learned to forgive by now.
Do not seek to twist my words. I shall not suffer the treachery of the Legion. Not again. I say to you, lay down your arms. The days of your Legion are past and gone. When I faced the traitor Mott Baron, the gods of my mother struck him down. And they shall guide my hand against you now! Feel my wrath! fooled yourself into thinking this is over. I still have the favor of my mother's gods.
Do you suppose Jane is actually fleeing, or is she going to activate some form of mystical doomsday weapon in the next room?
The fires in this place give us strength, Legionnaire. My handmaids and I will burn you to dust. Now you will know pain! Fight me, damn you! Stay away from my handmaids!
And again, small-minded zealotry flees before the crushing might of reason. Reason triumphs again.
You have defeated my Archons, crushed my soldiers, defiled this most holy of places. No more. The gods of my mother stand with me, while you have nothing but the ghosts of your broken legion.
If any of you pretend to piety, pray to your gods now. No more than a scratch. Perhaps you have some strength after all.
bow my head to you. Neither will I grovel or beg.
Give yourself up, and we'll treat you with respect.
You mistake me. I do not concede defeat to the Legion. So you need not offer terms. My gods have not abandoned me. Not yet. They dance like shadows at the corner of my eye, and they whisper in my ear. I will go before the gods of my mother, appeal to them for aid, and call her fallen sisters back from death. And when I return, we shall drive you from this kingdom that is mine by right.
What's happened? Where is Jane?
Vanished. She went to find her mother's gods, to appeal to them for help.
And they will answer her call. You will see.
You know something about this. Where has Jane gone?
To the forest. The place you call the Mournweald, where Jane's mother found a seed of the first creation. That is where Jane first heard the voices of our gods.
She thinks she can restore your sisters to life. How can that be?
No Archon can ever truly die. Not as long as some remnant of our gods lives on. We were their favored companions of old. When one of us died, our gods would rekindle her fire and create her anew. If Jane has tapped into that power, she can raise an army, all our sisters who have died in the endless years of our wandering.
And how many Archons is that?
Count the stars in the sky. Our gods fashioned them in our honor, one for each of my sisters.
Who are these gods of yours?
Our gods created the world, everything you see. But they tumbled from the heavens long ago, and we have sought them ever since. We feared they must be dead, but Jane's mother found the seed, a remnant of creation with all their power contained within. And perhaps an echo of their minds as well.
So Jane's visions, and the whispers she hears, you think she's speaking to your gods?
To all that remains of them, yes. Our gods only survive as a potential, a possibility. But even so, they are stronger than you. Stronger than your hero god Azunai, with his shining golden hair. Jane paid lip service to him, for the sake of her followers. But Azunai is a mere shadow, cast by the eternal fire of our gods.
You said something about the seed of the first creation. Could this seed take the form of a tree?
A thing of such power. Yes, it could take any form. If it gave birth to a forest, the seed might well appear as a tree.
Martin, what about our army? What news do you have?
We've won, but only thanks to you. A few of Jane's people surrendered. The others all fled.
You're too humble, Martin. I didn't win your battle for you.
No, I don't mean to be modest. We held our own, but we'd never have swept them off the field. When the fire burst from the top of the tower, the fighting nearly stopped, with everyone straining to see. Then the fire went out, and Jane's army knew that she'd lost. They ran like autumn leaves before a storm.
We've got to follow Jane. How can we get to the Mournweald from here?
This tower was built atop an old Legion stronghold. They may have left a causeway behind, probably in the dungeon below.
And now it is sealed behind a door, bound by my lady's magic. Impossible to reach without her key.
The one in my pocket, you mean? Found it in the chancel. Your lady left it behind.
No matter. The faster you find my lady, the sooner you'll die by her hand.
So what do we do with our ill-tempered friend here?
We'll put her in Jane's own prison. She can stay there for now.
Right. I'll have the automatons bring her below after we've gone. We can take the elevator all the way down to the dungeon. Let's go and see if this causeway is still intact.
Made it out alive, did you? Not bad. Since you did old Fitch a favor, let old Fitch do one for you. Got some good stuff here. I'll sell it cheap.
I'd consider his offer. You won't have another chance to buy weapons or gear before you face Jane. So, one way or another, this is the end of our road. Shall we go?
Stay here, Martin. Someone needs to take charge of this spire.
I thought you might say that. Meister Wolf doesn't lack for nerve, but the man's a bit mad. Seems wrong, though. We started this journey together. I would have liked to have been there at the end.
You're a good friend, Martin. Take care.
Remember, out of all the survivors of the Legion, the Radiant Youth chose you. He appeared to no one else. I think he chose well, and I'd follow you down any route. Goodbye, my friend.
Adonai be praised. You're here. You won't believe what's happened. It started just before you...
Jane Cassander is here, in this valley. She thinks she can speak to her mother's gods and call the Archons back to life.
Well, whatever she's done, you better look outside. Something terrible is happening. It's like the sky's been set afire. Come with me. I'll show you.
Legionnaire! It seems that you've arrived just in time for the end.
You should be with your people, Lazar. They need your leadership now.
If I could reach them, I would. That path is closed to me, alas.
He's right. The entire West Wing has collapsed. Returning to town is impossible.
We're alive, aren't we? Don't be so quick to give up hope.
Hope? You think I should have hope? Look! The signs are all around us. Stars are dropping from the heavens and we are all going to die. You see? It is folly to think of hope.
Are you quite finished? I can get you to safety in the causeway.
Causeway? But I thought only Legionnaires were allowed to...
Yes, yes, by all means, niggle over the finer points of obsolete bylaws while the roof falls down.
Excellent point. To the causeway, then. I've always wanted to do this. To travel by causeway like the Legionnaires of old.
I'm happy for you. It would be a shame to get this close, only to die under a pile of rock.
Go on. Head through the causeway. You should be safe in there.
Here, take this key. You'll need it to unlock the door downstairs. Until our paths cross again. Hopefully sooner than later, eh?
Well, my friend, this is it. I do wish we'd had more time to discourse on matters of philosophy and natural science. Incoming! Reason triumphs again. My word, that is a rather impressive beast, is it not?
Jane Cassandra is close. She found her way to the tree at the center of the forest, and she's waiting for you there.
I came to warn you. She is not alone.
She's called the other Archons back to life. I've already seen them. And another creature too.
Not just the Archons and the Devas. Something much worse. It hasn't taken shape. Not yet.
So those four-armed demons have a name?
No one has seen a Deva since the dawn of the world. They serve the Creator Gods, just as the Archons did. If Archons were couriers and envoys, then Devas were soldiers, the wrathful hand of their gods. Even then, they were said to be terrible, but not as monstrous as you see them now.
Jane called something else back to life? Do you know what it is?
Nothing I have seen before. But anything is possible here. This forest grew from a seed of the first creation. It's alive with the power of the old Creator Gods. Jane has tapped that power. She has used it wrongly, yes. But it's still the same power that gave birth to the world. Limited only by her mortal mind. But it won't matter. If you strike now, you can still defeat her.
We have to end this. Our allies won't be able to stop her with an army of Archons at her back.
The presence that is taking shape, it forced me from the Grove. Its power is much older than mine. But I will try to weaken Jane's allies, to stop as many as I can from coming to her aid. And I will be with you again, before the end.
I'd love to study this destruction from a thaumaturgical perspective, but scholarship must wait till we've That's why. We're nearly there. Quickly, quickly. Remarkable. Why, the thaumaturgic implications alone could redefine magical theory for decades.
So you followed me here. You are stubborn. And I admire you for that. But you should never have come. I have restored the Archons to life. Just as I promised.
We defeated your Archons, and your four-armed demons, too. They're not going to save you.
Here the old Legion fell, shattered by my hand. Do not presume that you can avoid their fate. The Archons are not all that has returned. The power of creation still lives in this grove, and anything can be born anew. Even the Creator Gods themselves.
I fear that we are perilously close to witnessing thaumaturgical history, and then dying horribly.
dead then? Good.
The voices of my mother's gods. I cannot hear them anymore. Not even a whisper.
They are lost. You will not see them or hear them ever again.
You lie, child. Or whatever you truly are behind that innocent face.
No, Jane Cassinder. I speak the truth. What remained of your mother's gods has been destroyed, and the power of creation has fled this grove. It will never return.
You told me that this forest grew from a seed of the first creation. Is it dead then?
That cannot be. My mother searched for thousands of years, and this was the only remnant of her gods that she ever found.
The power in this forest might have been used to restore the old gods and all their servants to life. Not the twisted half-life that you gave them, Jane Cassinder. A true rebirth, as they were at the dawn of the world. But you called upon that power to destroy, not to create. You twisted the power of creation to your own ends, until all that was left was an empty shell, rotted from within. And now, it is gone.
The forest was already corrupted, even before Jane tried to call the Archons back to life.
The first time Jane called on the power of the old gods, it was to murder Hugh Montbaron 30 years ago. She knew she was misusing that power, but she was too full of anger, and she didn't care. After that, the Mournweald grew rotten and sick. All its potential for good was lost.
Why did this power respond to Jane and no one else?
Jane's mother was first sister. When she died, her fire passed to Jane. The first sister stood at the right hand of her gods. Only pale shadows of their minds persisted in this grove. But they remembered her. That is why Jane saw her gods in visions and dreams, just as her mother did before her. And that is why Jane could unlock the power that was buried here.
And the Archons I fought in the forest, the ones that Jane restored to life?
Dead, wilted like blossoms, and scattered to the wind. When you slew the reborn god, all Jane's creations were undone. In time, the forest will recover. But it will be ordinary. No longer the Mournweald, with the power of creation at its heart.
We have a decision to make, what to do with Jane.
What do we gain from killing her? It is a principal tenet of all reputable philosophy that anyone may be rehabilitated. Must we not try?
I expect no mercy from the Legion. Do as you like.
Before I pass judgment on you, I want to know why you acted as you did. Honestly, and in your own words.
Why did I murder your father? That is what you want to hear, is it not? I was young, full of anger. My own father was dead by the Legion's hand. So I raised an army. I swore to avenge him myself, if I had to carve my way through every chapter house in Ebb. If the other Legionnaires had handed over Montbaron, I would never have hunted them down. But they were so stubborn, so loyal to their chief. That was wrong of me. I should not have punished the whole Legion for Montbaron's sin.
You're sorry for killing the Legionnaires, but not for killing Montbaron.
I take no pride in the pain I caused you. But I am not sorry for the death of Hugh Montbaron. No. I would kill him again. He murdered my father, and I don't care what his reasons were. You asked for honesty. There you have it.
You've told me why you destroyed the Legion, but why fight a war with the Queen?
I will answer your question with one of my own. Do you believe that Rosalind would make a stronger queen than me? My father was a king. My mother a chief among her people and chosen of her gods. I have made mistakes, yes, but I know how to lead. And Rosalind, she has the heart of a lamb. Would you trust the rebuilding of this kingdom to a sheltered little girl?
Rosalind is stronger than you think, and stubborn as well.
Stubborn? Yes, I suppose she must be, to stand against me for so long. But she is still young and untested. You may think that she is strong, but she has never ruled in her own right. Now you expect her to rebuild a kingdom, with only a few scattered legionnaires to help her. I warn you, that will be an even greater challenge than defeating me.
I have no more questions. I've made my decision.
And I am ready for your judgment, though I know what it will be.
You've escaped justice for too long. If you have any last words, speak them now.
Shall I tell you of my regrets? I have but one. I must leave this kingdom in the hands of a tattered legion and a cringing, useless girl. I could have forged this country anew. You and your queen cannot.
So sure of that, are you? You have an unfortunate history of underestimating the Legion.
I'll make this quick. Goodbye, Jane Cassinder.
She is dead, and the Legion can begin anew.
It's over then.
For now. You deserve a rest, but it may be short-lived.
We need to build our strength and train more legionnaires.
You will find many willing to join the Legion now, even a few who might surprise you. And you will need them soon. The country is still divided, and the Legion has many old enemies who yet live. But you've shown that the Legion is strong again, worthy of respect. Your enemies will fear you, and that will buy you time.
All this theology is making my brain itch. Let's return to the chapter house.
We part ways then. I will be watching, and one day, I will see you again. Farewell.
You bid farewell to the Radiant Youth, and he sent you back to our chapter house in Stonebridge, where I awaited your return. In the weeks that followed, news spread of Jane Cassinder's defeat. Her army scattered, giving us time to rest and regroup. Martin Guiscard returned safely from the Spire, along with Meister Wolf and the Automaton army. Only a few weeks later, elections were held in Stonebridge. Meister Wolf, who had been so public in his support of the Legion, almost won the office of mayor. But he was defeated in the end. Many people had wanted the dapper old gent to hang. They resented the fact that the Legion had spared his life, and they blamed poor Wolf. The Guild of Ironmongers became more profitable than ever, thanks to the harsh terms of servitude imposed upon the Cyclops workers in the foundry. By all accounts, Meister Kessel became the richest man in the city, but he did not forget his debt to us. His guild donated fine suits of armor, blades, and guns to the Legion, enough to equip an army when we finally replenish our ranks. Archambault du Payen, formerly known as the Dapper Old Gent, proved a valuable addition to the Legion. His knowledge of Legion magic allowed us to retake control of the Sentinels that had long guarded our chapter houses and estates. But the people of Stonebridge still bore him a grudge, so we were forced to send the gent north for his own safety. There, he took possession of Gunderic Manor, and all the magic that lay within. In time, the manor will again become a training ground for a new generation of Legion mages. With the reopening of the Heroes Crypt, pilgrims returned to the Rukenval, and merchants followed. The following winter was harsh, just as Lazar Basili feared. But thanks to the trade from the south, the people of Ravensrill stayed warm and fed. When spring came, many more pilgrims arrived, and the town of Ravensrill grew wealthy again. Lazar and his people built a new stone wall around the town, and reclaimed their abandoned houses and farmsteads from the forest. It is a happy change of fortune for a long-suffering town. Queen Rosalind abandoned Glitterdelve, embarking on a tour of all the cities and towns of the West, meeting as many of her subjects as she could. The Queen showed all the energy of youth, and I think she fully expects to reunite the country in a matter of months, not years. Reality may not be so kind, as Lord Devonsey has tried to make her understand. In truth, the future of this country depends more upon what we decide. If she doesn't have the Legion behind her, the Queen is only a single voice, well-meaning though she might be. Soraya, the last of Jane's handmaids, was delivered to Stonebridge by our army. At first, she proved a sullen and difficult prisoner. But as time passed, Anjali spent more and more time in her presence. Both were aware, I think, that they were the last of their kind. In recent weeks, Soraya seems a different woman. She follows Anjali like a devoted little sister, and she has expressed a desire to train as a Legionnaire. I maintain my suspicion of any Archon who once followed Jane Cassinder, but I think that redemption is not impossible, even for her. As for the Legion, the rest of our story is yet to be told. We have a nation to reforge, a fellowship to rebuild, and old enemies who would see us destroyed. And we have questions to decide. Who will assume true power in Ebb if the nation is restored? And who will take the mantle of Grand Master? But these matters I leave for another chronicle, and another time. Whatever happens, know that you will not face the future alone. The Legion will stand by you, always.